Alright, 05 and up, Tacoma DMZ bed fab kit, bed reinforcement kit, whatever the hell you want to call it. I do have a couple things to mention before I start this video. First off, you got to keep your 10 mil handy for your mic. Just another use for it. Second thing I will mention, I am roughly 60-70% done with this project. Because it is my first big welding project, I wanted to kind of have a hold on what I was in for before I started recording. And the other part of that is the passenger side is already completely done. So I can show you guys the finished product, and then the driver's side is about half done. So I'll show you how I prep it, paint it, weld it, etc., etc. There will be a clip on dropping the gas tank, so this should be a one-stop shop to completely fix the weak Tacoma bed frame. So we're going to jump into it right now. Alright, psych, we're not jumping into it right now because we're going to take 1 minute to discuss 3 reasons why you should do this to your Tacoma, because it is a big project, especially if you're going to do it yourself. So those 3 are, we got strength, rigidity, longevity. Number 1, strength. I'm going to try to keep this under a minute. The Tacoma frame is held together by rivets. If you didn't know, now you know. So by boxing in the frame and completely tying in all the stock cross members, I have no doubt you over doubling the strength of your stock frame. So number 2, we got rigidity. If you ever look at any trophy trucks or race trucks, they're completely rigid, welded together chromoly frames. So by increasing the rigidity of your frame, it lets the suspension work easier and better. Number 3, we got longevity. Like I said, rivets over time, I'm sure they don't hold up great with off-road. By tying in the entire rear section of the frame by welding it together, I'm sure will double or triple the longevity of this frame. Plus you got to think about you're prepping it and painting it, so you're adding material. It's always a good thing to add another layer of paint as well. Those are my 3 reasons why I keep it. 1 minute, 15 seconds. Alright, now let's jump into it. Alright, I'm like 90% done filming this video. I never even mentioned the things I have to do just to get to this point on the truck to even tackle this kit. So let's jump into that super quick. Number 1, you got to pull the bed. There's no way around it. It's super easy. My bed's sitting right here in the garage. It's 4 bolts, maybe 5, 6, and the bed just comes right off. Number 2, the gas tank's got to come off. There's no way around that. That's a little harder. It's not fun at all. Number 3, I did have to pull the exhaust on the passenger side, just the one exit exhaust. That was just 2 bolts, but you might be able to work around it. I was not. So let's jump into how you're going to receive the panels. Maybe you've already received it and you're watching this because you're in the middle of it, or maybe because you're debating if you should do it. This is how you receive them, dimple dyed. And a huge trick I will mention is this is the side that you're going to be welding on, and the opposite side of this panel is going to be inside the frame, and you're never going to be able to see it. But because I'm OCD and weird, paint it. You don't want rust. Paint it. It's going to be on the inside of the frame, and you're never going to see it again. No one's ever going to see it again. But you paint it so you don't have problems in the future. And that is the smallest panel you're going to work on. This is the biggest. I prepped and painted all of them before working on them. Then I'm going to prep this side, and this side is the one that's going to get welded. Prep it again with a sander, and then paint it so the paint actually sticks when you're painting it on the outside, because that's the important part, because that's the side that's going to see all the debris and the dirt and all the shit getting kicked up into the truck. So, yeah, this video is going to be all over the fucking place because I don't know how to mention certain things that you need to do when you're jumping into a project. Alright, I feel like this video is just going to be a big like tips and tricks video for you guys doing it yourself. I'm not going to be the step-by-step guy, basically do it for you, but I will give you everything you need to know. My biggest tip so far, let me spin this around, is, there you go. Inside this frame right here, you're going to have all your nuts where the factory bumper bolts up to, right here, and for your factory hangers. What I did was replaced all this hardware in here. You're going to have nuts and bolts, everything for your hangers, because now I can't get to any of that shit. So what I did was completely replaced all these bolts All these bolts, washers, everything for my hangers, anything that's inside the frame got replaced. I am basically never going to be able to get to these bolts ever again. Alright, let's piggyback off what I just said with the bolts on the frame. As you can see, the inside of my frame, completely stock frame, looks absolutely immaculate. What I did was, I had some rust spots, so I decided to go in there, completely get rid of all the rust, prep it, sand it, and I primered it, then painted it. Because like I said, you're going to hear me say it again and again, you're never going to be able to get to the inside of this frame once it's boxed in. I didn't want to have any rust spots. I didn't want to have any issues where I have to fix any rust spots in the future. So I just added a primer layer and 3 paint layers. Now all I have to do is prep these edges right here along the edge of the frame so I can weld it. Then I'm going to go ahead and add another layer of paint. You're going to hear me say it over and over again. It's kind of redundant, but paint the inside of your frame before you do this so you don't have any issues in the future. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick example of what it looks like, because I do have one section done, one section not done. You get an idea of what she looks like. This is, no, hell no, fuck that. We're showing you the stock Tacoma open frame, C-channel, absolutely nothing, held together by these little rivets right here. You have 4 on each cross member. Here is the DMZ bed fab kit. So I dimple dyed these, which I would recommend. It's only extra like 30 bucks. Completely ties in these cross members and these right here, and it welds right here as you see, and completely boxes it in, ties in all the stock cross members so they're no longer held together by rivets. So now we're going to show you how I prep this and how I paint it and weld it and all that other shit. Let's get in it. So as you can see, it's just the very edge, just enough for the weld. Only take as much paint as you need to. Got the welder on over there, and we're about to tack this side in, measure it all up. Here's those gussets that tie in the stock cross member. So let's get this tacked in real quick. Alright, so I'm going to try my best to show you guys this clip, because this was one thing I was super uncertain about. So here's the cab right above where I'm talking about. So this is going to be the furthest forward panel that you guys are going to be working on. Yeah, on third gens there is a piece where the frame overlaps. If you could see the metal on the inside of the frame, where this is just normal, there's nothing on the back side of it. So right where the leaf spring hangers are, it overlaps. So what I did was I just cleaned that up and welded that, and I welded the face of it too. So that one goes all the way towards, it's basically where the back seats are. So that was one thing I was super uncertain about, but here's a quick clip of it before I paint it, and here's after I paint it and prep it. The welds are kind of boogery back here, but it's all good. Alright, most likely the most obnoxious part of this whole goddamn thing is dropping the gas tank, which I dropped right here, and I'm going to show you guys how I did it. So first of all, you're going to have, this is the main tube that goes into the tank from the filler neck. Then you have this little tiny one right here with this orange clip, yellow clip, is for your vent. And then you have this one right here, which is, I'm assuming, some sort of evap. That is it for on top once you have the bed off. If we drop down below, you have these straps that hold your tank in, so it's going to be 2 14 mils right there where they bolt in, and the straps just fall down from the frame. Then you have 2 gas lines right here. These actually go to your engine. Then once you lower the tank down, you have these 2 clips on the top of the fuel pump that are really fun to get out. As well as these, you have to pinch each side of the blue clip, push in, and then pull out once you completely depress them. So what we did was we put a jack in the middle of the tank, loosened both straps, lowered it maybe 5 or 6 inches, undid the clips for the top of the fuel pump, which is on the very top in the middle right there. Let me show you guys those clips. That's your evap. Those go to the filler neck. And then undo the top clips for the fuel pump. Then once you have all those out, you can lower it down. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 connections total that you need to remove, and then the 2 straps that actually hold the tank in. And I think that should do it. It wasn't very fun, but just me and my brother did it. Took us probably, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes, being very careful not to break any clips. Alright, so by far one of the biggest questions I had was on the driver's side, you have all your gas lines running through the frame. What I ended up doing was just notching the frame to get them to fit. Sorry, everything looks like dog shit. I just painted it so it's all wet and sticky. And I did cut it. Let me see if I can get back here. I did cut it short because of this bracket right here. Oh shit. That bracket right there is for the gas tank. And then all your lines are running right there. I figured I'd just leave that section out rather than put a bunch of metal in there and then possibly rub on a gas line or something. So here's what the driver's side looks like. The passenger side is done. You can see it in there. I put the exhaust back in, so that's why that looks like that. But there is the driver's side. Alright, so as a follow-up to the last video I just took, this is how I basically took a template out of cardboard for how to notch for the gas lines and to where cut it right before that bracket. It's just the easiest way. I do it out of cardboard and just transfer it to the metal, and then I welded it in and painted it. So right about now the gas tank is probably going to go back in, and then probably, I don't know, whenever I have time. Tomorrow is my birthday as of this video, as the filming of this video, so we'll figure it out. We're going on a trip to Arizona, so yeah, the bed's been sitting like that for probably a month, maybe. So, alright, one super quick thing I'm going to mention is this is the paint and primer I've been using for the whole front section of the frame. For the rear section, I used paint and primer separate. I ended up liking this a lot more, and they're $5 on Amazon, so this is the finish that's on the truck right now, if you're curious. Alright, boys, I do think that's a wrap on the DMZ kit. Some of the paint's still drying. I did a little touch-up layer. I'm going to try to hold the mic and film at the same time. But here's kind of the finished product. I know that the wiring's kind of in the way, but the exhaust is back in, the gas tank's back in. Let's try to get you a little shot of the finished product. So, like I said earlier, that was a pretty big undertaking for my first welding project. I think I went through one full 2-pound spool of welding wire. I've probably got, I don't know, somewhere between 10 and 15 hours worth of work going into it. It took me a lot longer because I had to work, but anyway, you guys don't really care. It was a huge undertaking for my first project, but I got a lot of shit done. I bought new bed stiffeners as well, which is actually pretty sick. I might show you guys those real quick while I got you. Let's see. These are from Chassis Unlimited, which are right here. These things are beefy. So I'm pretty hyped on those. Spin you back around. I'm pretty hyped on those. What else did I take care of? I cleaned up a lot of the wiring. I tried to suck as much shit I could out of the gas tank while I had it out. Maybe there's some stuff in there that hopefully I sucked it out. That sounds a little suspect. Took the time to button up all the goodies for the shocks and everything. Those brackets need to get repainted. They needed to get repainted. And I painted the whole rear chassis while I was at it. The whole back half of it got one full coat of paint. So, yeah, I know this is kind of long and drawn out for the closeout of this video, but I just wanted to kind of go over everything and show you guys the finished product. Yeah, it was a really good kit. I really hope it's worth it in the long run, because that was a lot of work, and I missed out on a couple wheeling trips with the boys, and I definitely could have been camping or snow wheeling right now, but those videos are soon to come. I'm probably going to stop working on the truck for a little bit. I've been working on it too much and not wheeling enough. I'm sure some of you guys know the feeling. But yeah, I think I'm going to close this out. Hopefully this video is helpful. I'm sure it should be, because I just basically gave you a bunch of tips. It's really straightforward. Other than a little bit of trimming here and there and dropping the gas tank, it's pretty straightforward. Possibly if you guys are interested, once I get some weight in the back and I put the camper on, I could do a review like saying, is this kit worth it or not? Is it worth all the bullshit? Pulling the bed, pulling the gas tank? I'll let you guys know. I'm hoping for just like a stiffer chassis, and hopefully the suspension works a lot better than it did before, because before the chassis is all floppy. Drop it down in the comments below if you guys want to see that, like kind of maybe a 6-month or 1-year review, possibly along with some of these springs and new shocks and everything. I could kind of do an overview of everything and post that in the coming months. Also, this is possibly one of your first times seeing this truck, because I just started this YouTube video. What do you guys want to see on the channel? I could also do like a 1-year review of long travel, see if that was worth all the bullshit. So far I think it is, but I could kind of dive into that, see if you guys want to know a little bit more about that, if it's worth it for you to do it to your truck. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. This was a fun project, so I got to edit this and post it, and I guess that'll do it. Peace. So hopefully you guys drop a subscribe and a like. That would be sick. Anyway, later.